Greetings. It's 4:15. Looks like if I get situated. It's about 44 degrees out here. So I'm starting a show. Another Q&A called Let's Be Friends. Hello, Trigger. I brought another thing to the karambit. There's a link in the description. You can get a free karambit. You just pay shipping, and you just pay shipping, and you can get a free karambit. I'll try to have something new like that each time. The last one was a self-defense pen. That's in the one before this, and this one you can get a free karambit. It's like this one. It's black, and it's a neck knife, which is kind of cool. And just brought this to show and tell. So today is another day. I guess we focus on Thanksgiving now. Halloween is here and gone already. Right. At least it's sunny. Sunny and cold, but sunny. Today is Wild Wednesday. I guess we focus on our pets today. We got our pet back from the groomer. They shaved him again in this cold weather. I saw a lot of cats. I guess you can adopt cats at PetSmart. You can adopt them for over $40, and they're already named. The flute tradition. The recorder. So what's it like there? Is it cold also? Here it's pretty cold. 44 degrees. They say 32 degrees is when water freezes. So this is the weather is good for this time of year. I mean, it's not hot. It always makes me scared when it's hot outside. When you're already into autumn. So one means two. So maybe it's not just you and I. Maybe there's more people that are going to join. I had quite a few people yesterday before my camera started messing up. Tomorrow it's going to be a Don't Tread on Me flag. Have you ever seen that coiled snake that says Don't Tread on Me? I'll be able to have different free items each time. So people can collect the whole set, I guess. It'll be a way of saying thank you for watching. It's always fun when I get something in the mail. When I order something and it finally arrives. And it's always or better than I expected or just as good as I expected. We'll see if that black cat shows up again. I have a huge bag of peanuts that someone gave us, and there's a squirrel here called Stella that shows up every once in a while. Maybe she'll show up. She comes around looking for sunflower seeds. Yeah, most of the time that's how you do it online. You see something, a video of it, or you get a picture of it. But I'm old-fashioned. I like going to the store and actually holding it. Like when I'm going to buy something from the sporting goods section at Walmart. This one I got out of a catalog, I'm pretty sure. I like how this, you can put this on your belt, and it's a quick draw. That's kind of like the one you'll get if you order the karambit, the free karambit. It's a neck knife that you just pull out. Let me see if I can bring this closer. Create the illusion that I'm out in the woods. There we go. Now I can read the chats without a magnifying glass. This is the shortest time I've had to wait for chatters. I never had somebody write somebody on as soon as I turn it on. So I guess I'm getting to be in the right time. There we go. I delete calls during my show. The show is called Let's Be Friends. You can always share it. I like to have people share my these links. Or not the links, the videos. When I make the videos, some people do share them. I think the most is around 12 people. Or 12 shares. Some of them are rewatched. I know. That'd be nice. I'm getting closer. Little bit by little bit. Then I'll have to have a celebration episode. Bring out my bottle of wine that I've been saving for a long time. I bought it when I was in California. Then I can pop the cork and pour some wine. So I'm showing one, so that there's a chance there's two people. Thank you for joining. That really is an encouragement to me. I'll have to come up with some more funny jokes. Some of them are just off the cuff or on the fly. Like getting excited about pumpkin pie. My last one was pumpkin pie. Or maybe a little more show and tell, I don't know. I'll have to think of some ideas. It's amazing what they have for on YouTube nowadays. They're asking girls all kinds of questions that men should never ask women, unless they're have been going out for a while. They've changed the, oh, you got a like, thank you for the like. They changed the laws here in Georgia. You don't have to have a permit to conceal carry, which is kind of nice. You can have a pistol on you in case somebody tries to rob you or assault you. You can just pull out your pistol and settle things. But then you still have to be careful, I guess. You have to be very careful if you're concealing carrying. Where you walk into and where you visit. Some places, like there's a hospital nearby that doesn't allow weapons, so you can't have any weapons at all. But I like the idea. A lot of robberies are stopped by people who have firearms, and they don't tell you that. They always tell you about school shootings. They always tell you about shooting at the mall or at the nearest Walmart, but they don't tell you about the times when robberies are stopped by somebody. So you've been shot before? They always say that the gun you're looking at seems bigger than it really is, or like if somebody points a gun at you, people mistake the caliber of the weapon because it's right up in their face, and it looks very big, even though it's a 22 or 23s are pretty dangerous. They're a little bit bigger than 22. Well, it's good that you made it alive. It all depends on where you get shot, I guess, in the limb or in the, they say aim for center mass, which is pretty dangerous. Sometimes it's in the arm, sometimes it's in the neck. Some people get shot in the head and they still survive. Somebody's cooking something. Sometimes you can smell their barbecue. It's dinner time, so people start. It's around 4:30, so people get ready to eat, I guess. That's not fair. I haven't had dinner yet. They always say you feel the bullet before you hear the sound. I mentioned that before in another video. Feet per second. So yeah, they say head shots are pretty dangerous. You bleed a lot more from a head wound than you do from regular wounds. I've never been shot, thank God. I've been around a lot of shootings. There was in California, in the Del Paso Heights area, there was always a shooting. You know, I sometimes I witness some out in front of King Supermarket. I think it was King Supermarket on El Camino. There was a shooting. Two guys were wrestling, and one guy pulled out a pistol and fired a shot. And it went over his head and hit an arcade game inside the store. The guy who fired the shot got on a bike and rode away. So I guess we got popperiners now. I saw two up there, and now there's only one. Was it? Oh, another one was I was shooting at a street corner, and then when I came back, the police were there looking for bullet holes on the person who got shot. Yeah, it was never an. It was always a common thing in Del Paso Heights to have shootings, either hear shootings or see shootings. Guns are much too available, much too easy to get, it seems. Always the bad boys get the guns, but sometimes good guys get guns, and they're really good shots. Like when you try to rob a jewelry store or a convenience store. It's always nice to see when the storekeeper has a pistol. Sometimes even machetes or something like that. You know, it's a sign of the times, they say. It's just like getting to be like the Old West, where the gun was the law. Don't mess around when you're gambling either. They don't like it when you cheat on gambling. So I wonder how long it'll be before I have dancing elephants or jugglers or something, or some juggalos. Something to keep this show very interesting. People are coming back, which is good. I might be doing something right. Maybe I'll have cake of the day or something like that, or fruit du jour. Today's fruit will be a peach. So it's getting awfully quiet all of a sudden. So I guess you could say I'm a knife collector. There's a woman on YouTube that has a really extensive knife collection. I always like seeing her shorts that have like the OTF knives. You have to be 21 to gamble. I remember that when I was too young to gamble. So at Circus you'd be at the upper level where all the kid attractions were. You lose a lot of money when you gamble. I noticed that. I always thought it was pretty fun until you're in debt about $400. You start whipping out your credit card. It's time to leave. It was fun being a kid in Circus, going to Las Vegas and seeing like the kangaroos and the acrobats. They didn't have many clowns though. That's what clowns are all about. The circus is all about seeing clowns. That and I think the only thing I've seen, I never lions. I think they had lions. So we're up to 2 people, which means there's probably 3. So Arthur usually comes on and Trigger usually comes on. Yep, a lot of fun things to do. I like the buffets. The buffets are real cheap, and you get a lot to eat, a lot of good food for a little bit of money. That's one thing I remember about Las Vegas was the buffets. If you're really hungry, just show up at a buffet. A lot of food for a little bit of money. I've heard about that. If you can eat a whole hamburger, they're really big hamburgers you get to eat for free. A lot of people have died from Heart Attack Grill. I've heard about that place. The Heart Attack Grill. So we got 2 people, which means there's 3 people. I love the accuracy of YouTube. Like yesterday, it kept going between 8 and 9 likes. So one like kept disappearing. And I had 42. Oh yeah, I've never heard about that. I wouldn't want to be spanked if you don't finish your food. That sounds like something you'd have to deal with at home. Finish that food or I'll spank you. There are people starving. I used to always hear that. People are starving. You better eat all your food. Peas and liver were the things I didn't like. Mama would always try to put something on the table that I didn't like, which is mean. That you shouldn't do that to your kids, especially if it's liver, or peas, and things like that. You should always be in tune. I got the last part of that. Brother in my life. I got to pay attention when these, because sometimes I'll daydream and then I'll realize I got to read something. I got to catch it all. Well, at least my chatter's on. I don't know why it wasn't on the last time. I didn't have to turn it on today. There's some things I take for granted. I guess Bobo will be on request. I sometimes like to bring out my puppet. Puppets can be kind of funny sometimes. Because trying to do a show all by yourself, sometimes you don't captivate as much. So, or maybe I'm starting to doubt myself. Maybe I'm quite captivating. Who knows? I wonder what they liked about that one. There's one particular live stream I did. I got like 333 views on that one live stream. I guess that's catching lightning in a bottle. So for those who just joined, there's a link in the description for a free karambit. It's kind of like this one, and it's a neck knife, and the link will take you right to the page where you can buy one. Well, the karambit itself is free. You just pay shipping and handling. I think it's around, I'm not sure exactly how much the shipping and handling is, but they'll probably, I think they ship worldwide. A lot of websites ship worldwide. It'll be nice to see what you think of it if you ever happen to get one. Sometimes when I've ordered them, they're pretty high quality. And I'll try to have a new toy each time, a new toy or surprise, kind of like Cracker Jacks. There'll always be a link in the description that you can check out. And I'll try to look through my catalogs and see what's crack-a-lackin'. Today's reception is quite good. Maybe the satellites are aligned. It's almost 5 o'clock. There weren't a whole lot of people dressed for Halloween, I noticed. I was the only one, me and one other guy were the only ones dressed for Halloween. I hope people haven't lost the excitement of getting dressed for Halloween. I got to find some parties. Parties are really fun to go to. But now we are focusing on Thanksgiving. I think it's the third Thursday. It varies from date to date when Thanksgiving is celebrated. Thanksgiving is usually for me a time for buffets and family. I remember in California I didn't have any family there, so uh, Thanksgiving was always when I went to JJ North's or Hometown Buffet. Yeah, there's some nice decorations. I think I'll do a lot more hunting for homes that have decorations. There's one that goes on its way into Dallas, downtown Dallas, and yeah, downtown Dallas, Georgia. There's a house that always decorates, has like a giant skeleton and a Grim Reaper and um, a lot of other attractions. Seems like I could make a documentary about that one house. And sometimes, like the Tin Bucket, it's on Main Street in downtown Dallas, Georgia, and it's a store called the Tin Bucket, and they had a huge skeleton in front of there. You'll be able to see it in my shorts. There's a short that I made of that skeleton. There was a guy standing next to it, and it shows you how big the skeleton is. There's another short I made about a winery that there was a huge skeleton kind of leaning over the edge of the building. Yeah, lots of skeletons on Halloween. A lot of ghosts too. There's a lot of people who are touring haunted houses and attractions. I always like watching the Grimm Collective. I like to watch their. Sometimes they're just they go to Universal Studios and places like that. Sometimes just nice attractions where it's all jump scares, haunted houses and stuff like that. They also do like filming locations, and the Carpetbagger is another one I watch. Carpetbagger is pretty interesting when he goes to visit like attractions like Fear Fest, I think they call it. Six Flags has their Fear Fest or something like that. I remember the one in Vallejo in California. They had Fear Fest. They had a giant spider. They had a choo-choo train, and yes, I always ride the choo-choo train. I liked Six Flags here in Georgia. There's Six Flags over Georgia, and they have a train that goes through the whole park. I like to see that. I went to a Fear Fest one time there. They had lots of werewolves and things like that. Yeah, I was noticing like they go right from Halloween to Christmas. They don't even bother. The flood. I think I read that right. So you were the plague doctor. Nobody else told me their Halloween costumes. I was Willy Wonka. I looked like an old skinny Willy Wonka. My glasses. It's like Willy Wonka didn't have glasses. I looked more like a steampunk version of Willy Wonka. I had the cane and everything, so I was good to go. No, the jackal. Oh yeah. So Arthur was a jackal. He's the one that says, "Good day, lads." So we have Trigger, the jackal, and there was a cupcake cat or something like that. Cupcake kitten. Somebody from the UK and somebody from Germany. So I guess I'm off to a good start. A lot of people around around the world. I think one of the coolest costumes I saw was Doc Ock. I think it was from Spider-Man. There was Doc Ock, and he had Spider-Man up in the claws. That was pretty cool. And of course, I've seen a lot of zombies. Lately, there was a lot of Wednesdays for Halloween, and Minecraft. A lot of game themes. It's kind of like going to a cosplay. Cosplays are pretty cool to watch. I like watching the videos that have cosplay, Halloween, or the costumes. Comic-Con is another place. Dragon Con was the one I went to in Dallas. It was in Atlanta, Georgia. They had Comic-Con, or yeah, Dragon Con. There was a Harley Quinn there. It was quite convincing. Harley Quinn and Professor Snape, and sometimes Dragon Con they have celebrities or people who were in shows like Star Trek. I know you've really arrived if you see Star Wars characters. Yeah, Comic Con, Dragon Con, and cosplay. Those are always fun to go to. I can't wait to get a GoPro. I want like a really good camera so I can upload footage. I want a good camera that has really good battery power, so I can do like at least 2 hours worth of footage, 2 to 3 hours. I know some of those. There's 32 gigabytes, I think. They could do like 4 hours worth of footage. I could do like parted, like part one, part two, have them be an hour each. That's one thing I'd really like to do. Go on tours and go to Dragon Con and Comic Con, cosplay, places like that, and get all the costumes. Have people tell us. A lot of them make their own costumes. I've seen a lot of shorts about ladies who make their own costumes. Those are fun to watch. And also what was another one that I like is the Renaissance Fair. A lot of the girls dressing like fairies, guys dressing like pirates or knights. I've been to, I think, 2 Renaissance fairs. One was not too far from where I lived. They just closed down a park and they have everyone show up for the Renaissance Fair. I remember watching a mock battle. I videotaped a mock battle. I think I had it uploaded to YouTube. I wish I wouldn't have deleted a lot of the videos that I made. But for some reason I got compelled to just delete videos, and they should have been ones that I kept. So let's see, what questions can I ask? So Trigger was shot by was it a 23? My brother's wife has a 25. Those are easy to conceal. They still do damage. I think just pointing one of those guns at somebody would cause them to rethink. You messed up when someone's pointing a gun at you, telling you to move along. It's getting quiet again. What do we do? What do we do now? We're like a dog that's chased a car. Once the car stops, the dog doesn't know what to do. 22 seemed to always be the first gun. Mine was always a BB gun. Not the CO2, but the pump action. Mine was a Crossman pump action. I got to be pretty accurate with it. I remember taking popsicle sticks and sharpening them and putting them up at the top of the fence and shooting the popsicle sticks. I guess if you could keep your hands still enough, you could hit a lot. Those things are powerful. They're one shot. You could pump them up 10 times, up to 10 times, and they're really powerful and accurate. The Crossman. I remember my dad would hunt mice. He would be laying on his belly and there would be mice crawling along the floorboard. and my dad would shoot mice with his Crossman. I think he used pellets. You could use pellets, darts, and BBs. I think I had all three. Pellets are pretty dangerous. Those are made of lead. They have the tapered ones. Those are for hunting. I guess you could shoot small game with the pellets. BBs are good for target practice. They ricochet though. I guess the lead pellet would hit and just stay there because it deforms. Blowguns are fun too. Here in Georgia, you can have a blowgun. I have I have two blowguns. One's like I think it's a 50 caliber. They have 40 and 50 caliber. I have a 40 and a 50 caliber. The 50 caliber is pretty good. I like taking it out to the park, and I have this target that I set up. Blowguns are very underrated. I like blowguns. Makes you feel like a ninja. Blowguns and crossbows and all that stuff. Oh, I was going to bring out my pistol crossbow. I made a pistol crossbow out of some odds and ends. I think that's what'll be my attraction tomorrow. I'll have to remember to bring my pistol crossbow. It's always fun. I want to make one using AB or PVC pipe. You can heat the PVC pipe and smash it down and make it into a bow. I prefer the trigger, so that's I wish I knew how to make them when I was younger. You know, the trigger. I always played around with different trigger ideas. I wish I had a full shop. I could make really good crossbows. I always watch these guys with that are forged. You know, they can forge. They can take load springs and make crossbows out of load springs, or knives. I think that's what buck knives were made of. Buck knives were made out of those. They took old files, old worn down files, and they made knife blades out of the files. They made like the first hunting knives. Daggers are pretty cool to make out of an old file because they're already tempered. I bet you they're brittle too. Most people have mistaken trigger for trigger. Those are some bragging rights. People be able to say, I was shot. Oh, tiger. So X tiger instead of trigger. What'd be cool is trigger X. X trigger. Trigger X. Or XX trigger. Tiger or liger. That actually happens in nature. Tigers and lions mate sometimes. When they come out with a liger, which is kind of funny to say. I should have a bonfire out here. But instead I have my nice warm coat. I like being out here because I don't get any distractions. I don't get any interruptions. When I'm in the house, there's always something going on. It's hard to do a nice live stream. But I always like nature settings anyway. Even if it's windy and cold like it is today. Wow, I'm amazed at the reception I have today. Yesterday it was doing that choppy thing again. Choppy! I wonder how long it'll be before people start sharing these live streams. Once they're all, if I have something really interesting, I want to have some guests on. I swear to God, I'm going to get some guests. I've invited a lot of people to be on my show with me, other fellow YouTubers. That'd be nice to have. It helps both. It helps both channels because people who don't know about me will know about them, and people who don't know about them will know about me. So it's kind of like a trade-off. It's a good way to get publicity. I was like that guy who does morbid facts. He always has a morbid fact. Like I said, that one woman who collects all those knives, and she's pretty knowledgeable about what states allow which knives. California, they say, has the strictest knife laws. If you have a knife over 3 inches, you could be in trouble. I lived in California and I was collecting knives like crazy. I was always afraid. I guess if you keep them at home, it's okay. You just can't carry them around with you. Yeah, yeah, he's got like handlebar mustache. It always looks like he's, um, I don't know, it's like, he seems like he'd be a cool guy to hang around. I'm trying to get the look, but morbid facts. Sometimes there's bloopers if you watch some of the shorts. I think most of them are shorts. I've noticed that I've caught a lot of the shorts, but not any of the videos. I think now where they're competing with TikTok, YouTube is. So TikTok and I notice YouTubers are being encouraged to make shorts because I think that's the attention span of most people. They just want to see a short instead of watching an entire video. But some videos can be kind of fun to watch. I like that one guy. It's a metal detector. He has a metal detector, and he finds treasure. He had diamonds one time. It was like the Shawshank Redemption. There was a stone wall, and the metal detector led him to a brass urn, and it was full of diamonds. And he dropped it, and all the diamonds went everywhere. I guess if you get nervous, you'll start to drop things. I was watching a guy test diamonds. He said, or he had two different stones. One was a diamond, and one I think was a cubit zirconia or something like that. And he heated up the diamond and the cubit zirconia, and the diamond sunk deeper into the ice. He got the diamond and the cubit zirconia really hot and dropped them onto a piece of ice, and the diamond sunk deeper in, and I guess diamonds can scratch anything because they're the hardest substance known to man. So if anyone tries to sell you a diamond, just heat it up and drop it into a piece of ice. If it goes all the way through the piece of ice, then you have a diamond. I heard they do the same thing with turquoise. They have howlite, they color howlite, and they tell you it's turquoise. And I guess acetone. You rub acetone on the stone, and that's how you can tell if it's a real turquoise, because the acetone won't make the color come off. It's amazing what they do to they they defraud people, with different jewels and gold even. If your ring turns your finger green, it's not real gold. Maybe Shaggy can be my guest. I can bring Shaggy out here, and he'll pets can be entertaining. Today is Wild Wednesday, but he's just back from the groomer. They shaved him pretty good, so so it's going to be cold if I take him out here. There was one guy at the Sunrise Mall in California. He had a cockatoo. It was a white cockatoo, the kind with the feathers stand up on their head, and he would always have it on his shoulder or on the top of his head, and he would walk through the mall, and people would take pictures of him. Oh, we're getting that problem again. I wonder what's causing that. That's terrible. I notice it does that. I think it's when my battery gets low. it starts to chop out like that. Well, it's almost an hour. Start this again tomorrow, and it's 5 o'clock. So if I keep these an hour long, I won't have this problem. I wonder what's causing that to happen. I'd like to find out why. I get really good reception, and then all of a sudden it starts to mess up like this. I think that's what it is the battery power starts getting low. We'll conclude, we'll keep doing it until I start having malfunctions. So we'll do this again tomorrow, and thank you for staying with me this long until I have technical difficulty. So I'll see you tomorrow. I'm pretty sure that's the problem. As soon as it starts to